Wednesday, the 24th of January. Kia ora, hello, I'm Philip Duncan. Thank you for joining us as we take a look at the southerly change that has just moved in across the country. Some places down 12 degrees or more from where they were just a couple of days ago, and frosty conditions were very, very close to it for some parts of the lower South Island. Temperatures down to 1-2 degrees this morning. That is very cold for this time of year, but I must point out, in February last year, we had a frost in parts of Southland and Otago, so we do sometimes get a cold airflow out of the Southern Ocean. It is our location on Earth, halfway between the equator and Antarctica. So the southerly flow across the country, a lot of happy people sleeping better as a result of it. And even though today is a bit cold for some of you, the temperatures do lift back up again over the next few days. So let's have a look at Thursday, and the reason why the temperatures are about to lift back up again, thanks to the windy westerlies returning here from south of Australia. Now that's not humid, it just means the temperature will go up, but the humidity shouldn't be as bad as it's been. That muggy weather has now been pushed well out to sea in this area here. And there's a southeasterly flow coming in for Thursday. That's cooler. It'll bring in some showers for Hawke's Bay, maybe Gisborne and Waited Upper as well, and potentially even a couple into Marlborough. Mostly dry elsewhere, but into the afternoon, you might see an afternoon heavy shower. Sometimes you get that with the southeasterly because it's much sunnier over in places like Waikato and Taranaki and Auckland when you have a southeasterly flow. Now into Friday, the warmer weather comes in. Now it's not the hot stuff they've got here in Sydney, where I think they're getting up to about, well, close to 40 degrees. We won't be as warm as that. Our airflow, if you look at it, actually is coming out of the Southern Ocean still and curving around. Now there will be some areas that are getting some of this warmer airflow, but because it's mixed in with that cloud and that rain, it won't be quite as warm as you think. But temperatures will be going up in the South Island, especially in Southland and Otago, where it's been a little cooler lately. And by the way, for those who complain that I don't mention Southland enough, I think I've mentioned Southland way more than any other region this week. And we do get complaints from Southland, I don't know why, more than any other region. Saturday's weather looks like this. We've got rain clouds arriving, and it means for the west coast some heavy falls. Canterbury gets a bit of rain as well. That'll be welcomed by the farmers. And into the North Island, mostly dry to begin with, but now that warmer westerly is coming back in again. So Hawke's Bay, Gisborne areas, they'll be the warmest. And also southern parts of Waikato usually do quite well, especially as that wind starts to tilt more northwest and it's subtropical again. So you might find by Saturday, some areas are getting pretty warm, but by Sunday, there is the next cold front coming in. So it's short-lived. So Friday, Saturday, maybe a bit more warmth pushing through the country. Sunday, cooler weather again. Nothing like as cold as it is today as we're recording this on Wednesday. But by Sunday, yeah, another slightly cooler change coming back through once again. Now by Monday next week, it's a little unusual because low pressure out here to the side and high pressure out here to the west means that there's a southerly coming back in again. It's a bit of a fake southerly because really it's coming out of the subtropical area past the Chatham Islands and then curves around as a south to southeasterly wind. That actually can be quite a warm wind direction for places that are inland and have the sun out. So it depends on where you live next week, but there's a bit of a change next week. Some wet weather again for Canterbury, Kaikoura, up towards coastal parts of Marlborough, Wellington as well, and maybe up here in the far north around places like Kaitaia. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. We'll update you again tomorrow, Thursday, because we'll cover this weather a bit more and the outlook for next week. All of that in tomorrow's video. Before I go, if you're following the cyclone up around Queensland, Australia only 7-day outlook is out today, and we'll be covering the cyclone in more detail. So check out that video as well. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow, Thursday, with our next update.